Did you hear the rumor that NBA star Anthony Edwards told a judge that he wanted to pay 18 years of child support up front because he didn't want to have nothing to do with his baby mama or their child? This is 38-year-old Aisha Howard, a brand ambassador who gave birth to a daughter named Aubrey.
And adult entertainer. A brand ambassador and adult entertainer.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
October of 2024. And this is Anthony Edwards. He plays ball for the Minnesota Wolves. And apparently and allegedly, he got 3 different women pregnant last year. He met Aisha in Georgia. And after he got her pregnant, she sent him a text message letting him know that he was going to be a father.
Hold on. Is that true? Is that true? Did he really get 3 women pregnant last year? Is that true? Is that proven? I mean, she's saying allegedly, probably to protect herself from. Hold on, man. Let's talk to Miss Coffee. That's insane. I actually did not know that. If it's a fact, Miss Coffee, did Anthony Edwards get 3 women pregnant last year, 2024? If that's true, that's the craziest thing I think I've heard coming out of sports outside of that Xavier Worthy situation. That was pretty wild too. 3 women pregnant in 1 year is an astonishing level of recklessness.
In 2024, NBA star Anthony Edwards reportedly fathered 3 children with 3 different women, page 6. September 2023, a woman named Daja gave birth to a daughter named Aris. Page 6. October 2023, a woman identified as Ali D welcomed a son named Amir. Page 6. Late 2023, Edwards' girlfriend Shannon Jackson gave birth to their daughter Aislinn. Page 6+4, page 6+4, the Shade Room +4. Additionally, in October 2024, Aisha Howard, also known as Little Miss Golden, and the ex-girlfriend of rapper Lil Baby, gave birth to a daughter named Aubrey Summers.
Oh, this is financial self-deletion. This is recklessness on an I can't even talk. On an unprecedented level. How? I thought it was like 2 within the span of a few years. I wasn't really following this story as closely. How?
Anthony immediately told her to have an abortion, and she said she didn't want to do it because she had just had an abortion 2 years ago and she regretted it. So he told her that child gonna be fatherless, and then he blocked her on every social media platform to let her know he was serious. He did not want a child with her. So she went through the entire pregnancy alone, and right before she gave birth, she moved to California and had the baby named Aubrey in a California hospital. As soon as she gave birth, she filed a paternity lawsuit in California asking for Anthony to be added to the birth certificate and for him to reimburse her for all of the costs associated with her pregnancy and to establish child support to support her and the child for the duration of the child's childhood. After
Straight robbery. She knew what she was doing. Old lady, by the way.
they took a DNA test and Anthony was the father, he said, "That's okay, I'm the father, but I don't want visitation rights or custody."
I mean older than him. I don't mean that she wouldn't be identified as old right now. I mean older lady than him. A lot older.
He can have her. The only thing Anthony asked for was for child support to be determined in Georgia because he believed Aisha moved to California so that she can get a bigger child support payment out of him.
I remember
So he
that.
filed a separate paternity lawsuit in Georgia and waited. And lo and behold, the California judge agreed with Anthony and determined that the Georgia judge will preside over the child support case. And then rumors began circulating that Anthony asked to pay the entire 18 years of child support up front because he don't want to have nothing to do with Aisha. Even though there's absolutely no evidence that he really said that, people are angry and saying, dang, he must seriously hate her and that child.
Okay. There are a lot of people who are giving their take about him asking to pay all the child support up front. People, of course, understand the position he's in. He obviously has made yet another horrible decision in his life. And him saying, hey, I'm not going to be in this child's life. I'm not going to be a father to that child, was cemented by him proposing or requesting that he pays the child support all at once. Next here, I have a video by an attorney, and I was really happy to find this because I know, and I've seen so many of these like child support cases. I know how child support works, not as a practitioner, but from the outside looking in. I've been, reporting on this type of content for a while now. Spoken to multiple attorneys. I had a lot of questions as to whether that was even possible at all. Anyways, let's check it out.
Anthony Edwards asking for his child support to be paid in one lump sum is not going to happen. I'm a divorce attorney in California, and one thing that people don't understand about child support and family law rules in general is that you can ask for anything. It doesn't mean that it's going to be granted. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Anthony Edwards got a lady pregnant. She moved to California and filed a paternity lawsuit against him and asked for child support for his baby. Allegedly, he got 3 women pregnant in 2024. And when this woman, Aisha, told him that she was going to have a baby and he was going to be a father, he told her that she should get rid of it and that he's not going to be involved in the child's life if she decides to have the baby. She still decided to have the baby, allegedly because she had already gotten rid of a child within the last 2 years and she regretted it. Anyway, she goes on to file this lawsuit in California, which she has every right to do because Anthony Edwards was determined to be the father, so therefore he is responsible for taking care of the baby. The reason why I said that lump sum request is not going to happen is because the California laws do not allow for you to basically discharge child support in that way. You can't contract away child support, although he is paying. As he progresses in his career or as the child's need changes, child support can change. It doesn't just stay one set amount for the child's entire life unless the parents leave it that way. So if Aisha gets a child support amount and Anthony Edwards' income goes up, she can always take him back to court to get more child support from him.
And that's the part right there that I knew happens, is that child support sometimes fluctuates depending on the person's income potential. For example, if someone's earning more, the mother can go ask for more. And so if they leave room for that, and child support is something that cannot be protected by a prenuptial agreement, then she can always go and make a request. And that's what was confusing about, him requesting that one-time payment, right? Because as his income goes up, you can ask for increases.
If the child develops special needs or needs daycare costs included, she can take him back to court to get those things. You also can't really predict how much co-pays and things of that nature are going to be. So she would still have to take him back to court for things like that because he would still be responsible for paying anything like co-pays, daycare costs, all the things, right? Now, Aisha can agree to accept child support paid in one lump sum, but that contract would be really, really hard to do because she will always be able to come back and say, you know what, that was not enough. When I agreed to this was below guideline child support. Now he's making more money. So I'm coming back to ask for the difference of what he should have been paying under this contract. You cannot contract child support away like they are trying to do. So I really want to know who his attorney is because that's a wild motion to file. Aisha can definitely agree to it, but there's nothing really stopping her from bringing it back at a later time saying that was not enough.
Self-destructive behavior. An opportunist woman who looks and prays for men who are weak sexually, and a child, an innocent child, being brought into this situation who has no idea and can only hope that it has 2 loving parents. Truly unfortunate.
I grew up without a father. So let me preface this by saying I do not support, condone, or even understand the actions of a deadbeat. Also, as a father, I don't. However, this Anthony Edwards situation is giving deeper insight to men are not going, especially men with money, if they can, are not going for that whole my choices end at intercourse nonsense.
Right.
Anthony Edwards, let me not put this on the wrong person. Anthony Edwards has decided that he not only doesn't want parental rights, but he also wants to pay his child support in one lump sum of 216 months. That's 18 years. Never seen the court, condone or approve of this, but we'll see what happens. But I'm just trying to exegete real quick that let this be a lesson to some women that men have bodies too. They have choices too. I think y'all overplay that whole, oh, I carry the baby, I give birth, and, it should really be my choice thing. Men, as a dominant personality and just how they hunt, they resent being told what to do. So when you force someone to do something they don't want to do, you're going to get a reaction. And then y'all be like, oh, that's so sad. It's so sad that you also heard someone's request to not do something and you did it anyway. The problem with society is, and y'all do this with everything with men, y'all think that it only matters what the woman wants. It only matters how you feel. It only matters the consequences and the risk to you. Men have lives too. And though I may not agree with their actions, their results, their choices, as a man, and an alpha man at that, I understand the carnal and visceral response to someone trying to back me in the corner. I promise you, if you've ever told me, oh, do this or else, or tried to force me into something, you wouldn't like my response either.
Every day, Anthony Edwards shows us more and more that he is just a YN that made it to the NBA. First, the Barack Obama debacle, where he was talking to the Barack Obama like he was just on the street. Now he's mad and told the judge, supposedly, allegedly, that he just wants to pay the 216 months up front for child support. He ain't even about to do this monthly. Boy, let me tell you something. The egg on my face if I was Aisha. And don't get me wrong, I feel like the baby is the only person that's suffering here, and I'm not happy that the child is going to be abandoned. But
let's be honest, the baby's suffering the most, but they will pay. They will pay. No one goes unscathed, unless if you're a complete sociopath and you can live the rest of your life with your child having the trauma that you put them in. You participated in that, right? To an extent. Most people are going to pay to an extent. Who suffers the most is the child.
But at the same time, I have to respect this young man for standing on the business the way he is standing on business. And this is a cautionary tale while we be saying everything that God gives and babies are God's gift. Baby, sometimes you just need to let it go. Or cash in. Honestly, yeah.
We know it was all for money, and that's what makes this really, really sick. But there will come a time eventually when enough women are put on child support and enough men are fed up, and the ugliness of family court affects both men and women equally because, of course, modern women want equality. And at that point, when things change, my question is, what will women do at that point? When a man can alleviate, I really do believe this will happen. But when a man can actually say, you know what, I can let go of the responsibility to be financially responsible for that child. And it could be proven that they both consensually participated, in that sex to create that child. And he can decide to step back. There's going to be change in the future. When that happens, it's going to be a very sad time for women who lack self-control. And, maybe they'll just all of a sudden finally be able to control themselves. And I'm talking about the ones who create the multiple broken homes and the ones who capitalize on the, wealthy men. This will come to an end some way or another. We know that states are reimbursed, 66 cents on the dollar on child support, given bonuses, right, for good performance based on how aggressively and how efficiently they go after men who need to pay child support. Majority men. Yeah, some women pay. But it's majority men. And I think the craziest thing is that people assume that whole system, child support system, is just honest. And I mean, uncaffeinated people, right? Just assume that like everyone's doing their job. Oh no, they're not forging the numbers and really reporting false numbers so that they could profit off child support. It has to be happening. How do we know? It's happening in other places where you'd expect it shouldn't and would be easily trackable. Yeah, this is a very unfortunate situation. Of course, guys, I'm Krishna. What do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.